How's it going, everyone? A recent post that I made on X and the responses that followed got me thinking that some classrooms in school may be learning multiplication wrong. And I don't mean they are not doing times tables when they should be doing times tables. No, I mean the concept of multiplication being taught wrong. So the channel Math Files posted a photograph of some work being done on a test where the question says write an addition equation that matches the multiplication equation. And the multiplication equation is 3 times 4 equals 12. The student wrote 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, 3 added 4 times, and the teacher marked that wrong and wrote 4 plus 4 plus 4, where 4 is added 3 times instead. Now, I commented saying that, well, both solutions are correct, so the student is right, the teacher's solution is right as well, but the student should be marked correctly. And I gave a proof explaining why multiplication can be performed in any order. 3 times 4 is equal to 4 times 3, and it can be shown as 3 added 4 times and 4 added 3 times. Now, most of the responses were very positive with over 4,000 likes, and many of the comments were also very positive, but a lot of the comments were really arguing against this, saying that no, the teacher was right, the student's answer was wrong, and they provided a number of reasons which generally can be placed into 4 categories. So I'm going to show the proof that multiplication can in fact be done in any order, and I'll go through all 4 of the arguments that were presented against this, and I will debunk every single one. So let's get into it. We will prove that AB equals BA. So AB equals, let's start with the definition of multiplication that most of those arguing against this concept were suggesting. AB means adding B A times. B plus B plus B, and so on. A times. For example, 3 times 4 is 4 added 3 times. Well, each of those B's is just 1 added a number of times. So we could write 1 plus 1, and so on, B times plus 1 plus 1, and so on, B times, and we just keep doing that. And how many of these groups of 1's added B times do we have? Well, we have A of them, right? Because B is added A times. Now, all of these 1's can be rearranged in a different order because addition can be done in any order. So, what if we take the first one from every one of these sets of 1's, right? So we take this one here and this one here, and from the next set of B1's added, we take the next one, and so on, right? So we take the first one from every set. Well, how many of those 1's will we have? Well, we will have A of them, right? Because there are A of these sets. Now, what if we take the second one from every set? How many of those 1's will we have? Well, we will also have A of them, right? Because, again, there are A sets, right? We take the second one from every one of those sets, we get A 1's. Now, what if we take the third one from every set and so on? Well, we will have A of them again, right? And we can just keep doing that and adding these sets of A1's. And how many times can we do that? Well, we can do that B times, right? Because the last one is the Bth one. So we can have B of these sets of A1's. Now, if we're adding up 1 A times, that's equal to A. So we can rewrite this as A plus and so on plus A B times. Well, how would we write A added up B times? Well, that's B times A. If we again define the first number as the number of times that the second number is added. So we started with defining multiplication as the second number added a number of times equal to the first number, just as the teacher suggested here. 3 times 4 is the second number 4 added up a number of times equal to the first number, 4 plus 4 plus 4. We start with that definition, and what we end up seeing is that it's equal to multiplying it the other way around. But it's important to note here, we did not just prove that the answer will be the same. We don't even know what the answer is. We didn't define what A and B are equal to. That's why we don't know what the answer is. What we proved is that A sets of B is equal to B sets of A. It's not just that they end up equaling the same answer, but the concept that A sets of B is the same as B sets of A. Now, let's get into the arguments made against this. The first of the 4 arguments was that the definition of multiplication is that the first number is how many times you add up the second number. Well, what we just showed in our proof is that the order can be switched and they are equal to one another, not just in terms of final result, but B added up A times is the same as A added up B times. 3 times 4 is the same as 4 times 3. So if you claim that 3 times 4 is 4 plus 4 plus 4, and you claim that 4 times 3 is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, well, we actually just showed that they're both equal to one another, and that viewing it this way or viewing it this way is just B groups of A or A groups of B, and that's just a different way of looking at the same thing. So it doesn't matter how you define it, the two ways of organizing, adding up one number, a number of times equal to another number, it's just a different way of organizing the exact same thing. Another argument made against this was along the lines of times means of, right? Or that the multiplication symbol means times, right? So this is like 3 of 4, right? 3 groups of 4, or 3 times 4, right? So 4 is happening 3 times. Now, first of all, as we just discussed, even if you define it that way, we proved that 3 groups of 4 is 4 groups of 3, or A groups of B is B groups of A. But the other thing to understand is that mathematical symbols do not mean words. They are not shortcuts for words. They are symbols for logical concepts and logical operations. In that sense, a mathematical symbol is more like a punctuation mark than like a word. It's a symbol that means a concept that transforms something that's around it. For example, the question mark does not mean the words, "This is a question." Okay? That's why when you see something like this, "The book is red," followed by a question mark, you're not going to read it as, "The book is red, this is a question." No, the question mark is a concept, meaning that whatever comes before it is transformed into a question. So you would read it as, "The book is red." Okay? Well, multiplication means that one of the symbols next to it is added up a number of times equal to the other value that's next to it. And what we just proved shows that the order doesn't matter. This could be understood as 4 plus 4 plus 4, or it could be understood as 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, because 3 groups of 4 is equal to 4 groups of 3. The other common argument against this was that, well, yeah, multiplication can be done in any order, that's true, but students shouldn't be taught that at an early age, because if students are taught that multiplication can be done in any order, they might think that's a general rule, and that subtraction and division could also be taught in any order, and then they start making mistakes. So it's better to just tell them that everything's done in a specific order. So let me get this straight. You want students to pretend that multiplication cannot be done in any order. So you're going to kind of trick them into thinking that it should not be done in any order because there's other things that can't be done in any order. Why not just tell them, hey, some things can be done in any order and some things cannot be done in any order? I think they can understand that, and it is the actual truth. You can put on your pants and your shirt in any order, but you have to put on your socks before you put on your shoes. That's a concept that children going to school in a shirt and pants and socks and shoes can understand. Now, would you tell kids, no, you have to put on your pants before your shirt, because if we don't tell them that, they might think that they can put on their shoes before their socks? No, that's not a thing. Kids understand that some things have to be done in a particular order and other things don't have to be. Just teach kids the truth. And the fourth and final and most interesting argument against this statement here is that the numbers represent certain things, and as a result, order matters. For example, 3 pounds bought at $4 per pound is not the same thing as 4 pounds bought at $3 per pound, even though they both will equal $12 with the pounds canceling out. It is two different events. Okay, in one situation you actually get more stuff, 4 pounds, for the same price, right? And that's true. It is two different phenomena, even though it comes out to the same amount of money. But when the two numbers represent different things, that's not represented by the order of the numbers. It's represented by the units attached to the numbers. Okay, 3 pounds is not equal to $3 per pound. Okay, one is a mass and the other is a price which depends on mass, even though they both have the value 3. It's the units that make the difference of what is equal to what. And order still doesn't matter. 3 pounds at $4 per pound is equal to $4 per pound used to buy 3 pounds. I switched the order. I'm still telling the same story because the units remain the same. The 3 is still pounds and the 4 is still dollars per pound. Look what happens here. The units are switched. Okay? It's a different story because the 3 isn't pounds anymore. It's dollars per pound. Okay? It's not the location of the 3 that changes the story. It's the units of the 3 that changes the story. And in this question here, it's dimensionless anyways. There are no units. 3 and 4, you can imagine, have the same unit, and that same unit is unitless, dimensionless. But even if you have units, order does not matter. You could write this as 1 pound at $4 per pound plus another pound at $4 per pound plus another pound at $4 per pound. And if you ignore the units, that's 4 plus 4 plus 4. But it could also be written as $1 per pound used to buy 3 pounds and then another dollar per pound charged for those 3 pounds, and another dollar per pound charged to buy 3 pounds, and another final dollar per pound charged to buy 3 pounds. Okay, so you're charging someone $1 per pound 4 times for those 3 pounds. Now, some might look at that and think, well, isn't that 12 pounds? No, because look, the pounds on top cancels out the pounds in the bottom, because anything divided by itself is 1. And the result is $3 plus $3 plus $3 plus $3, which is the same $12 that we would get up here. Okay, it's not 12 pounds, it's $12 because the unit is dollars per pound for this one. Okay, you could think of it as $4 per pound added up 3 times, once for each pound, or you can think of it as $1 per pound charged 4 times for a set of 3 pounds. It's 2 different ways of arranging it, 2 different ways of looking at the same thing, because 3 groups of 4 is the same as 4 groups of 3 from another perspective. The simplest way to look at this is a rectangle, which has a length of, say, 3 and a width of 4. Now, which one's the length and which one's the width, which we would need to know to calculate the area? Well, you could do 3 times 4, or you could rotate your face 90 degrees and do 4 times 3. It's the same rectangle. You're just looking at it a different way. Multiplication is just another form of writing addition, a specific kind of addition where the same number is added many times. It's a short form of writing addition. And when we look at addition, then we really see how ridiculous it is to mark the student wrong. Let's say a question says 3 plus 4, and it asks a student to draw it. And a student draws a bowl with 4 candies and 3 candies falling into it. Now imagine the teacher says, no, that's wrong. It has to be a bowl with 3 candies and 4 candies falling into it, because the 3 comes first. And the story is telling us 3 and then 4, because plus means and then. So we started with 3 candies and 4 are added later on. And the student says, okay, but 3 plus 4 can be done in any order. It's the same as 4 plus 3. And the teacher says, well, no, because it tells a different story. You start with 4 versus you start with 3, even though the result is the same. That's ridiculous, right? The mathematical equation doesn't tell us the chronology of events in a story. It just describes a logical concept of 3 being combined with 4. Depending on what perspective you look at it, how about you have the frame of reference of one of the candies falling into a bowl? You're just chilling on your candy when suddenly a bowl with 4 candies smashes into you. 3 plus 4 is 4 plus 3. The order doesn't matter. And for the exact same reason, the order doesn't matter for multiplication. So, I hope that explains things. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time.